for a long time about continued improvement, and if you keep doing it day after day after day, that it builds to something. Do you kind of feel it, building because you're improving every day?
I think that's just the culmination of it, is the fact that guys have been really intent on coming to work and trying to get better, staying after practice, being in tune in practice, and just overall pulling for each other and trying to get better every single day. There's no secret to it. That's what it boils down to. You just have to be committed to it.
Victor comes out in the fourth quarter and he scores 12 points in the first 6 minutes. Can you just talk about his performance tonight?
It's just, it starts with his energy and his enthusiasm for the game of basketball. It's just, for a coach, it's extremely gratifying to be around, and it doesn't change. He's that way every day. And, it's really infectious to his teammates. They want to play for him. They want to play with him. And I'm sure glad he's got on a Magic uniform.
Jacque, what are we to make of these last two games in a period where, even though you guys don't use the R word, you don't use rebuilding, what are we to make of this?
Well, I think overall, this time of the year is interesting part, where you have some teams who are, the All-Star break is around the corner, things of that nature, and that's the best part of our group is, until now, I haven't even mentioned All-Star to these guys or break or anything of that nature. And for us to continue to remain focused right now and to really just, play for each other. You look at the minutes across the board, the substitutions, guys just coming in and doing their part. And where that leads, I'm not sure. But when we set out at the beginning of the year, it was to get better every day. And that hasn't changed, Brian. And I don't know what that's going to yield. But the fact that our guys are getting better, they're playing with confidence, they're comfortable with each other, that's okay.
Jacque, you were down 17 on Friday, came back. You're down 17 again tonight, came back. Can you just talk about the will and the belief of that bunch that something was going to turn?
Our guys have done a good job. I'd rather not be down going into halftime. Done a good job, though, of going into halftime, seeing where we can be better at, and going out and making some adjustments. And I think that part of basketball, we're lucky we have a halftime. We're able to go in and talk to each other, see how we can be better, and go out and try to change things.
Coach, you guys are now only one game below 500 at home this season. What do you see differently out of this team here than you do on the road?
Winning on the road is extremely tough in the NBA. It comes with maturity, it comes with being in situations, and a lot of things have to go right for you on the road. I think just at home, we just feel more confident. Our entire group, just hearing the fans cheer for you instead of the other team, that matters for our group. So I think overall we've used that to our advantage.
Coach, going back to John's question, what were some of those adjustments that took place today at halftime?
Well, first half, they really, I thought they got a lot of buckets off middle pick and roll. And so when we went to our unit where Vic was in, Etwan, Maurice, Tobias, we were able to do some things pick and roll wise that either made them adjust, they didn't come off with clean looks. And so that was one of the major things. And then overall, we talked about controlling the boards, which we were able to do, and then getting out and running. And so that was important for our group, and it yielded some points for us.
Tobias did some good things for you tonight at the 4. Was that primarily a defensive adjustment like you just said, or is it because of what you can do on offense as well?
Well, it was a little bit, we were a little stagnant, offensively. We only had 7 assists at halftime, so we weren't satisfied with that. Tough matchup for Tobias to play him against David West. So we start the second half, quickly sub Victor to give us a little enthusiasm, a little life. He was able to do that. We brought Tobias back at the 4. He was able to handle David West the best to his ability. His teammates helped him, and it helped us space the floor as well.
Jacque, with 9 seconds left, you guys ahead by 1. You had that sideline inbounds pass with Nick taking it. You saw what happened. How hard stopping was that for you? And what do you see transpire on that play?
Well, the last 14 seconds, Josh, were extremely long. I used 3 different draws to get the ball in bounce, give them credit for being very aggressive. I talked to our team about, we needed all 3 of those timeouts at the end of the game. had various people take the ball out of bounds. Nick, just internal clock, he is sped up on him a little bit. What I did love, though, is the fact that when we turned the ball over, there was all our guys running back and trying to do something on the defensive end. Paul George's shot, we have 3 guys trying to contest and another guy trying to tap it out underneath the boards. So I was impressed by that after the turnover.
Coach, with a little under 3 minutes to go in the game, you went back with Jameer and Glenn instead of Maurice and Tobias. Just talk about your thought process with that, since those 2 guys were part of the 34-10 run.
Yeah, they were able to bring back their starting group, and I think that was a big part of it, matchup-wise. And then also, I had rode those guys for a long stretch. So Glenn and Jameer were extremely fresh going down the stretch, and I think that was vital for us. The fact that Glenn wins the jump ball, Jameer a minute 20-some on the clock, we push the pace, kick ahead to Glenn for a layup, foul, so free throw. So I think that ended up working out for us.
Jacque, you went with Vooch right away. It looked like you were trying to get him going, and against Roy Hibbert, probably one of the biggest guys in the league. What was your thought process about getting Vooch aggressive from the jump?
Yeah, the fact that, we played these guys less than a week ago, and we had 30 points in the paint. We weren't satisfied with that, and so, we talked about really still trying to get a presence to the paint. Hibbert's big, he's going to block some shots, he's going to contest some shots, but for us to continue to get the ball in the paint and see what it yields.
Coach, on Friday we were talking about Maurice's fantastic defense on Durant in the 4th quarter, and tonight, around late in the 3rd quarter, he finally started to guard Paul George at that point and into the 4th quarter. Just talk about how much of a factor he was late on defense.
Yeah, he was great for us. Paul George is a tough cover. Maurice was able to use his length, contest shots. He was able to get deflections, which were great for us. It started multiple breaks for us. Being able to commit to defense, it's a fun part of the game. It's something that you can bring every single day. And Maurice is getting better at that every single game, and he realizes that it's important for our success as a team.
Coach, in the pregame, you talked about how important the bench play was. What does it mean for the team to get that kind of output from the bench today?
Yeah, it's huge for us. It's great to see that second unit get into the game. They don't want to let each other down, so every guy brings a certain amount of accountability to each other, and that's what this thing's about. I'll try to guide them, but they're the ones out there playing, and they have a great feel for each other. They play for each other, and that's been fun to watch, because that's growth at the same time, being able to do my part as a teammate.
I apologize if you've been asked this already, but the similarities between tonight and Friday night, overcoming 17-point deficits, having a big start in the 4th quarter. I mean, how much of a carryover was there from the win over the Thunder in this game?
I think you can attribute a little bit of believing. I think guys that at no point, I think we were down almost double digits going into the 4th quarter, and we talked about just competing as hard as you can. What's going to happen, I don't know, but to give yourself a chance in this game, you go compete. And the Pacers scored 18 points in the 4th quarter, so that's impressive, and our guys earned it and deserved it.
Everyone good? All right, thank you. No practice tomorrow.